Nothing like the sound of a 5-liter V8. That will definitely wake you up in the morning on your morning commute. In fact, this was a daily commuter for one of our employees, but it was recently just exchanged for a brand new Ranger Raptor. Two amazing vehicles, obviously two different styles, but two awesome performance Ford products. I'd have a tough time making up my mind. But if you love Mustangs, the Dark Horse is the ultimate version to get for the 2024 model year. The Mustang has had continuous production for 60 years when it first came out as a 1965 model in 1964. But Ford keeps things fresh. They're constantly offering special edition Mustangs for a couple of years and replacing with something else, keeping things special and unique. We've seen the SVO Mustangs, Shelby Cobra, the California Special, the Mach 1, the GT350, the GT500, and for 2024, they're retiring the Mach 1 after a couple of year production run, and now the Dark Horse will place the Mach 1 as a range-topping Mustang. The Mach 1 is very impressive as far as performance goes. When you got all the performance add-ons of the previous Mach 1, Car and Driver, they have their annual lap test where they categorize vehicles in price ranges and they run them around a racetrack. And the Mach 1 was the fastest vehicle under $75,000. The Mach 1 made 480 horsepower, but Ford has massaged the 5-liter even more with the Dark Horse. So the Dark Horse gains the same forged connecting rods you'll find in the previous GT500, along with strengthened camshafts, and that gives you an output of 500 horsepower. We can also see we have these large intakes for this dual throttle body, getting fresh air from those air intakes in the front. Also for 2024, the Mustang got redesigned for its 7th generation, and it's gone high tech, which we'll talk about shortly. This one looks absolutely beautiful in Grabber Blue. That quad tip exhaust system sounds absolutely heavenly. I love the Grabber Blue with the black matte accents throughout. Massive Brembo brakes give you amazing stopping power. This has a sport tuned suspension. 0 to 60, a little over 4 seconds. This thing's an absolute rocket ship. And unlike previous Mustangs that were great in a straight line, but left a little bit desired in the handling department, when Ford went back to the drawing board for the Mustang, I think it was for the 2015 model year when we saw it completely redesigned, they got rid of that stick rear axle and went completely to an independent rear suspension, turning the Mustang into an amazing handling sports car. Even though it's a small little sports car, we have a decently sized trunk. This has a great sounding audio system. We have a subwoofer right there. We have Dark Horse puddle lights, Dark Horse kick plates, beautiful interior with lovely lovely blue accents throughout. It's a little two-door coupe, so a little bit space to be desired in the rear seats, mostly for kids. But sitting in the front, you'll be very, very comfortable. Being the range-topping Mustang, these things weren't cheap when they were new, $66,300. Opting for the 10-speed automatic transmission, that was a $1,600 premium. And luckily, someone already paid the $1,000 gas guzzler tax when it was brand new. Luckily, there's no gas guzzler tax on pre-owned vehicles. Keeping it real, obviously this thing's not gonna get the greatest gas mileage. What's the rating on it? 1422. Maybe you can get 22 if you behave yourself, but yeah, if you have a heavy right foot, it's gonna be probably closer to 14. So if you're gonna use it as a commuter, you're probably gonna wanna have a short commute, or maybe get like a EV or a Prius or something like that to mile up and keep this as your weekend warrior. Beautiful, comfortable supported seats. We have leather trim. We have the suede cloth Alcantara material in the middle. This one has a drift brake on it. The Mustang has gone high tech. We have a completely digital gauge cluster. We have a drive mode selector so you can kind of program the ride and feel this vehicle. Love the look and feel of the steering wheel. It's flat bottomed. It looks like one big gauge cluster, but we have 2 gauge clusters, and these are configurable. Of course, we have a parking camera, great sounding Beano audio system. So if we go over here, my Mustang, so we have ambient lighting. It's kind of hard to see when it's light out, but 64 color ambient lighting, so it creates a cool ambient effect on the inside, so you can kind of pick and choose your primary and secondary colors. Sets the mood on the interior. You have track apps, an acceleration timer, brake performance, lap timer. That's the access to the drift brake I was telling you about. Auxiliary gauges, so you have oil pressure, voltage meter, how many G's you're pulling. You can customize the drive mode. So this is a programmable vehicle. You can put it in normal, you can program the suspension, the steering, traction control, exhaust system. Look at the gauge cluster. And then there's different themes for the gauge cluster as well. We have the normal, we have the sport, we have the track. Calm's nice, it kind of illuminates all the unnecessary information. So it just keeps it simple, all the information you need. So if you kind of get overwhelmed, especially at nighttime, if there's just too much going on, too many lights, too many screens, too much info, this will be perfect for you. Then we have the classic 67, 68 Mustang. We have the Fox body Mustang from 87 to 93. I was a child of the 90s. I graduated in 99, and one of the coolest cars to have was the Fox body Mustang. So if you're kind of nostalgic about the Fox body Mustangs, maybe you couldn't have one like me when you're in high school, but now you can make that dream come true. Well, there's a little nostalgia for your 2024 Mustang. And then we have the really cool SVT Mustang from 9901. I love white face gauges. This is pretty cool. Well, thanks for joining me on this walk around video of this 2024 Mustang Dark Horse. One amazing Mustang, better than ever, 500 horsepower, naturally aspirated, makes some amazing sounds. If you're feeling the vibes of this Dark Horse Mustang like I am, this might be a dream come true for you. Thanks for watching. We're Scarff Ford, in business since 1922. We'll see you next time.